let's add this to the, hey, well, is it the I am right vault? I don't know if that is what we would call it. Anybody should have known this. I guess it's way too easy, but it is an example of what I talk about a lot. Look, major corporations don't operate in the same kind of line of thinking that maybe you do as a more independent creative or just a business owner or whatever. And you have boots on the ground, you have your pulse on the industry or whatever it is that you work in. Those days, or that kind of approach works and makes sense, and that's logical and all that. You're correct. But the mega corporate entertainment sector, for example, does not operate like that. Everything is a backdoor deal in more ways than one. It's you scratched my back, I'm scratching yours. It's this person worked for this company and, we owe them a favor. It's this person aligns themselves and this because of this production company. This person often does work for them, so they know a guy. Like, it's all like everybody's kind of helping each other out situation, and nothing's really done by way of merit. Okay? Nothing's really done by way of that person was actually good at that job that we're expecting them to perform. Those days are not a thing. When you talk about the, merit base, they love to say, oh, it's the best person for the job, man. Hollywood ain't done that in a long time, if ever. But even as a Star Wars normie like myself, I saw this story and it was hilarious. Taika Waititi, who is, of course, the director of Thor, Love and Blunder, as some people are calling it, another movie about Thor finding himself. I'm not exactly sure what people see in this guy, but that's the thing. It's not art. It can be subjective in some cases, but there are certain people that I can at least see. Okay, even if it's not my thing, I can see where that person is other people's things. For Taika Waititi, I can't at all see that at all. I don't know what the interest is or intrigue with him, but it was announced that, let's break down the story or read through it, and they'll go through everything. John F. Trent, our man's over at Bounding in the Comics, talked about this. Waititi spoke with Rolling Stone to promote Thor, Love and Thunder ahead of the film's release. During the interview, he was asked, what was your initial conversation with Natalie Portman like? And Waititi said, basically, I was a lot of fans miss Jane Foster and people want to see her again. He was like that. He said, Waititi responded, basically, I was like, a lot of fans miss Jane Foster. That's what he said, excuse me. And he talked about blah, 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 blah. The character was so great in the Jason Aaron run of Thor. That is not true. But if they want a lot of ways all the way to the bank, then whatever. Because no, it wasn't. The director then detailed how they brought Portman back to the role of Foster. Kevin Feige was already like, I love to try to figure out a way to bring Mighty Thor into this film. We saw that coming. I called that years ago. She never heard of that run of the comic. Not surprising that person acting in a role isn't actually knowledgeable on the characters that she played. And to be fair, that was like right around when Jane Foster's Thor came about, was her acting in Thor. So you'd think she would have at least known, but apparently she had no idea. So I dropped off some comics for her. Anytime you ask how we cast so-and-so, we offer them millions of dollars, and they said yes. Well, that's kind of the truth. It then touched on Star Wars, revealing that Portman asked him what he planned to do after Thor, Love and Thunder. Waititi recalled, Natalie said to me, what do you do next? And I said, I'm trying to work on a Star Wars thing. So he is doing apparently some Star Wars stuff as well, which made natural crossover, Lucasfilm, Marvel Studios. blah, blah, blah. Have you ever wanted to be in a Star Wars movie? She said, I've been in the Star Wars movies. I forgot about those ones. So basically, this idiot asked, he didn't know that Natalie Portman was in those, was the prequel films or whatever. He didn't know that she was in those. I even knew that, and I'm a normie. I'm a complete Star Wars normie, and even I knew that. But think about that. So that's all I wanted. That's just the information that I wanted to present. This is not anything new. That happens, okay? Think about that. Person got job for one of the most prominent or biggest, well-known franchises that has ever existed. It's been around for a long time. There are various characters that are there. There's no shortage of fan base, no shortage of fandom, no shortage of people that have some sort of creative talent that would be willing to write. There's no shortage of writers, people that could direct. There's no shortage of that are at least somewhat knowledgeable on Star Wars. He got the gig and didn't even know that, I guess, this co-star in his upcoming movie that he's doing was already in a Star Wars film. And of course, as it announced, or as it says in this article, Star Wars Lucasfilm announced that Waititi would be directing and he's co-writing. He's directing and co-writing an upcoming Star Wars film, and that was announced a couple of years ago. So this man is directing and co-writing a Star Wars film and had no idea that Natalie Portman had already appeared in Star Wars films. I know it's painful for some of y'all, and you want to believe, right? Star Wars, maybe you grew up with it, or something you became a fan of, and you love it so much, and you don't want to see it be bastardized. It's too late for that. But this idea that the mega corporate entities are going to do any really adaptation, you can almost expect it's going to be a bastardization. It's going to be, hey, I'm director. I'm going to do whatever it is that I want. I don't even really, okay, here's a book or two. Yeah, you sent me an email. I'm not reading that crap. I'll pull a James Gunn and tell one of my actors, hey, don't even read the books, because this character is just a character in name, and we're going to do our own thing. See, those are the people that are getting gigs. This whole, it's the best person for the job. No, the best person for a job for Star Wars. This isn't some unknown film here. No, this is this is a franchise that has been around for a while, that has probably one of the most, all these knowledgeable fans. You could have found someone that was good for the job, that could direct, that could write, especially at minimum, do that has that knowledge base of Star Wars, which will be literally the person that is the best person for the job. And you have not done that. We have seen this time and time again of people that work on these projects that have never heard of this stuff. They've never actually looked into it. You can tell the way they talk about it, they're not really knowledgeable on it. Those are the people that are getting the jobs, though, because it ain't about merit. So that's why I say just give it up. It's in control of hands that aren't really caring of this stuff. They don't treat it with respect and dignity. They don't care. It's just, hey, I'm going to do my own thing. This is another gig. Just what it is.
You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.